Hi, you guys. We're going to do some solving equations. These are going to be multi-step equations. We're going to start out simple, where we're adding like terms. We'll move to the distributive property and add like terms, and then we'll go down to variables on both sides. Okay? So let's start with this. Negative 2x and 8x, they are like terms because they both have the variable x and it's to the first power. So I can go ahead and combine these. They are on the same side of the equation. So I just simply combine them. Negative 2 plus 8 is 6. So I have negative 2x's plus 8x's. That gives me 6x's on the left side of the equation. I want x by itself. 6 and the x are connected by multiply. The opposite or inverse operation of multiplication is division. So in order to cancel this multiplying by 6, I divide both sides of the equation by 6. Negative 18 divided by 6 is negative 3. If I check my work, my equation says negative 2 times some number plus 8 times some number equals negative 18. We're going to see if taking this negative 3 and I fill it in right here for the x and I fill it in here for the x, does it make the equation true? That's what I'm doing right now. Negative 2 multiply by negative 3 is positive 6. Add 8 multiply by negative 3, negative 24. Negative 24 plus 6 is negative 18. So yes, this is a true statement. So yes, we did good. Yay! Good job. Okay, let's try another one. This one will be more difficult. Okay? Move this out. We're going to do number 8. And this has, first, we always do the distributive property. If you guys remember, number 1, okay, when we're solving equations, we always do distributive property first. Okay, number 2, we add like terms on each side of the equation. On each side of the equal sign. Okay, so let's do this. Remember, this means multiply. 7 times 8, subtract 7 times 6r. I'm going to write it all out. 7 times 8, subtract 7 times 6r. Then we just write this add 2. And then the negative 236. I'm just bringing it down. I go ahead, I'm going to rewrite that. 7 times 8, what is that, 56? Minus 42r plus 2. Now, these numbers here, the constants, 56, there's no x. It's just 56 plus 2. These are like terms. So remember, our second step after distributive, if we have like terms on each side, so I'm covering this up and going, okay, on the left side, I could add 56 plus 2. They're on the same side. I add them together. It gives me 58. Subtract 42r. Now I go ahead and say, okay, I still, again, look at the r side. I want r by itself. I have to get rid of 58 and this 42. I always do the add, subtract first. multiply, divide second. In front of the 58 is a positive. We don't write it, but it is there. So to get rid of that, I subtract 58. You don't look behind it, you look in front. It's positive. Subtract 58, subtract 58. This will be gone. Negative 42r. Now this is a negative and a negative. Debt, more debt. So I'm just going further in the hole. I add them together. Okay, so we're doing good. Now I go, this is multiplied, 42 times r, inverse of multiplication's division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 42. Okay, so 200, so r equals, and this is a negative 42. Okay, r equals 294 negative divided by negative 42. Okay, is that going to be 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try that real quick. What's 42 times 8? That times 8, that won't work. Goes down to 6. What's that going to work? 2, 4, 6. It's 12, 24, 25, 42, 4, 9, 294. So times 7, right? So the answer is 7. R equals 7. Okay, let's check that. Let me grab a calculator. I'm going to punch in 294 divided by 42. Okay, 7. You're good. R is 7. Okay, now let's go on to another problem. This one is different because this one has variables on both sides of the equation. Okay, so number 1, distributive. Yep, no parentheses in this one. This one has parentheses. If I did number 9, yes, I would do distributive. Number 11, no distributive. But I'm going to look at each side of the equation. Okay, here's my line. Are these like terms? Yep, I have 7 n's, subtract 5 n's, that gives me 2 n's. Like terms, just add them, combine them. Now I'm going to look at this side. 3 n's plus 3 more n's. 3 n's plus 3 n's, 6 n's. Now I have to get the variables on one side. That's what I always have to do. So I'm going to subtract 2n, subtract 2n. 2n minus 2n is 0. 6 minus 2, I've got 4 n's. Now this one's different because we don't do a lot of problems with zeros. So I need to get n by itself. N is connected to the 4 by multiplication, inverse or opposite of multiplication's division. So n equals 0. 0 divided by 4 is 0. Okay, one more problem and we're done. And then you are welcome to do this worksheet. I have more of them in my room, and I will print them off for you. And I have answer keys, and you can check your work, okay? Okay, let's try this last one, this hard one. Hold on. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to write out our steps one more time. First thing we do, we're going to do number 17. We're going to do distributive property, okay? 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 times 6. Remember, it's multiply. Multiply. 3 times 6 is 18k. Over here, I've got negative 33 plus 5k. So I go back. I'm going to look at my list again. Distributive property. Add like terms on each side of the equation. Number 3, get variables on only one side of the equal sign. Okay, we have to do this next. Distributive, combine like terms on each side, then get your variables on one side, and then we'll go ahead, we'll do our multiply, divide, inverse operations, and then we'll do our add, subtract, inverse operations. These are always the steps that we follow. Okay? Okay. I'm going to go ahead, move back to number 17. So 33 and 5k are not like terms. I cannot add them together. 5k terms has a k. 33, no k's. I cannot add those. 6 and 18k, I cannot add those. So I took care of number 2. I cannot add any terms on the right side. I cannot add any terms on the left side. Step 3 says get all the variables on the same side of the equation. I'm going to move the smaller number, which is 5, just because it's easier, but I can move 5k or 18k. The inverse or opposite of adding 5k is to subtract 5k. I will subtract 5k from both sides. $18 minus 5 is 13k. Now I'll subtract 6 from both sides. Negative 39 equals 13k. Again, when a number is matched directly next to the variable, the operation is multiplication. That's what connects them. Inverse of multiplication is division. K equals negative 39 divided by 13, which is equal to negative 3. K equals negative 3. Okay, that's all I have for this section, solving multi-step equations using distributive property and having variables on both sides. You guys did good. Try some on your own, see what you can do. Thanks.